Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the O-Ray team with an overview of the UHD-EXB350EAU-K HDMI extension kit. This product was engineered to make it incredibly easy for you to share all of your HDMI media content with a second remote location up to 100 meters away over a single CAT6A or CAT7 LAN cable. The product also provides local loopback functionality at the primary location that allows you to continue to enjoy the content here while you're simultaneously sharing it with the remote location. It also includes audio extraction capabilities that will strip the audio component from the media being shared and allow you to pass that along through a digital or analog connection to a soundbar or home stereo for better quality audio. It also provides an extension for a 1 gig LAN connection to the remote location, as well as ARC and eARC extensions. It also provides USB extensions between those two locations. And finally, the kit includes a set of infrared blasters that will collect up the remote control signals from that secondary location and pass those back along the same cable to the primary location so you can actually control the content you're watching. The kit also includes power over cable technology, which means a single power supply is all you'll need to operate the entire solution. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with an unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and then I'll take a closer look at the transmitter and receiver modules and explain the connections and indicators. I'll list the features and functions the product provides, and then finally, I'll come back and do a brief demonstration to show you just how simple this product will be to use with your own equipment. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first open up the box, you'll find the transmitter module and the receiver module, a set of brackets for each of the modules you can use to mount them up off the ground and out of the way. You'll find a single 24 volt 1 amp DC power supply. This end plugs into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it, and you can plug that into the receiver or the transmitter. Again, because of the power over cable technology, all the power required for the other module is sent over that LAN connection. There's also a little collar on the back you can use to tighten that connection. You'll also find a set of infrared blasters that are used to pick up those remote control signals and then rebroadcast them at the primary site. The product can also transfer RS-232 signals, and you'll find two connectors that make that connection to the back of the unit much easier. Also included is a warranty card and a full instruction manual that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and other details you'll need to understand about the solution to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at both of the modules, I'll list the features and functions, and then I'll come back and do the demonstration. Inside the kit, you'll find the transmitter module and the receiver module. Both of these feature full metal enclosures, which make them incredibly durable and help to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the sensitive electronics inside. On the top of both cabinets, as well as along the side and on the bottom, you'll find ventilation slots that are designed to let any heat that develops during operation escape. You'll also find mounting holes in the bottom of both modules that can be used with the included bracketing kit to mount these up off the ground and out of the way. There are also 4 rubber feet on the bottom of the modules that are designed to protect whatever surface you'll set them down on from scratching. On the front of the transmitter module, starting on the left, is a power indicator. The minute you add power to the module, it starts an internal power on self-test, and when it passes that test, it'll light that LED letting you know the module's ready to use. To the right of that is a link indicator. When you make the LAN connection between the modules and add power, that connection is checked. Once it's verified, the link indicator will come on, letting you know you have a solid connection between the modules. To the right of that is a video indicator. If you're passing encrypted content to the remote site, that LED will come on, letting you know you're using encrypted content. If the LED is off, it's unencrypted media. To the right of that are 2 more LED indicators, ARC and SPDIF, as well as a selector button. You have a choice between ARC audio or SPDIF optical audio for output, and you can tap that button to switch between the two. To the right of that is a left and right in and out switch. This product can either embed audio or de-embed audio, and that's where you'll make that selection, and that's fully explained in the manual. To the right of that is an HDMI output selector. There's a port in the back that I'll show you in a second that can be used for local loopback functionality or to pass audio along to a soundbar or home stereo, and that's where you make the selection. The local loopback functionality is important because it allows you to enjoy the content here that you're simultaneously sharing with the secondary location. If you have this to the left, it's in local loopback mode. If you switch it to the right, it's in audio output mode. To the right of that is a USB host and device selector switch. What's interesting about this kit is both the transmitter and receiver can act as either a host or a device, and you'll make that selection here. And depending on that selection, you'll either use these 2 full-sized USB-A ports to connect a keyboard and mouse, or you'll use this port to connect it up to a computer. And again, this is all explained in the manual. To the right of that is a service port. It's a micro USB port, and that's used for updating firmware to the module if needed down the road. On the rear of the module is where you make all your connections. Starting on the left is a DC input port. This product uses power over cable technology, which means you only need a single power supply for both modules, so you can plug the included power supply in here or in the receiver end, and the power required for the other module is sent across the LAN connection. To the right of that is a LAN port, and that'll connect up to your local area network, and you can share that LAN connection up to 1 gig with the remote site. To the right of that is another LAN port. This is used for connecting the two modules together with either a CAT6 or a CAT7 cable. One end plugs in here, the other end plugs into the receiver. To the right of that are two full-size HDMI ports, HDMI in and HDMI out. The HDMI in port connects to whatever media device you'd like to share the content from with the remote location. And again, it's eARC or eARC compatible. To the right of that is the HDMI output port. If you've decided to use the local loopback functionality, you can connect this up to a monitor to enjoy the content you're sharing with the remote location. You can also use this to pass audio along, again, to a soundbar or a home stereo system through HDMI. To the right of that is a left and right in and out, and again, the switch on the front controls if that's embedded or de-embedded. There's an optical SPDIF output connection here. To the right of that are two infrared blaster ports, infrared in and infrared out. The transmitter would connect up to the infrared out, and it's the smaller of the two infrared blasters. Finally, on the right is the RS-232 control block. This unit can pass RS-232 control signals to the receiver. You'll make the connections there if you decide to use that function. Now, the receiver has very similar connections and indicators. Power indicator, once you add power, it goes through the power on self-test. It'll light that, letting you know it's ready to go. Link indicator, just like on the transmitter. Video indicator, same as on the transmitter. Same with ARC and SPDIF with the selector button. Here again, you have a choice for either device or host with the USB, and you've got to make sure that these are set differently. So if you set it one way, you'll use these. If you set it the other way, you'll use this connection to your computer. A service port over here, again, a micro USB. On the rear of the unit, another power port. You'll only use one of the two, so if you plug the power supply in the transmitter, you won't have to worry about that port. This is the connection at your remote location where you can use the internet from the primary site. So this unit can actually transfer a 1 gig internet connection, and here's where you'll connect up your computer or your streaming media device. This LAN port is the other end of the cable from the transmitter. So again, you'll plug one end in there, one end in here, and that's how the connection between the modules is made. To the right of that is a full-size HDMI output port, and this connects up to the monitor you'd like to enjoy the content on the remote location. It's both eARC and ARC compliant. To the right of that is a left and right audio output, as well as an optical SPDIF. Two more infrared blaster ports. In this case, you'll plug into the infrared in. It'll be the larger of the two blasters. And finally, an RS-232 connection block here. If you decide to use that function to extend the RS-232 to the remote site, you can make the connection there. And that's pretty much it for both of the modules. The Array UHD-EXB350EAU-K is compatible with most modern HDMI media sources, including security cameras, computer systems, game consoles, streaming devices, and media players like Roku. The product's features include full support of 4K ultra-high definition media content. It provides a distance extension of up to 100 meters between the primary and secondary locations. It is fully HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant. It also provides a 1 gig LAN extension as well as supporting ARC and eARC feature sets. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use this product with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video with audio in the background, and that's the media content that I'd like to share with my remote location. Over here I've set up a widescreen monitor, and this represents my secondary location. It's wherever I'd like to enjoy the content from the primary location. The monitor and the soundbar are both ARC and eARC compatible. In front of me, I have the transmitter module here and the receiver module here. Now the first connection I'll make is to the transmitter module, and I'll start by connecting the media player. I've already plugged the cable in here. The other end of that cable plugs into the HDMI input port. And now I can connect up the receiver. I have a cable from the monitor here that's plugged in. The other end of that plugs into the HDMI output port. And now we're set to add the LAN cable between them. And that has to be a CAT6A or a CAT7 cable. I have a short CAT7 cable right here. I'll plug that into the receiver. and the other end of it into the transmitter. And now we're all set to add power. Now what's interesting about this system is it employs the very latest in power over cable technology, which means a single power supply is all you'll need to operate the entire solution, and you can plug that in at the transmitter or the receiver end. Now I plugged the power supply in, the other end of that is a barrel connection, and I'll plug it into the transmitter, but I want you to watch the front of both of these modules when I do that. You'll notice the power indicators come on both modules, and that's showing you that the power is being sent across that same LAN cable. Right now, they're both going through power on self-tests where they're checking the electronics internally. The transmitter's also checking the resolution of the media source. The receiver is checking the resolution of the monitor. A handshake is taking place to make whatever adjustments are needed to give you the best possible picture. And there's your video. You'll notice there's no audio. This product employs ARC and eARC compatibility, and this can actually transmit that enhanced audio return channel across that cable back to the primary site. So the soundbar is also ARC and eARC compatible. So if I plug that in at the primary site, watch what happens. There's your audio. So think about that a second. You've got media content here that's being sent across this LAN cable to the remote location. You've got an ARC eARC compatible setup over here that uses the audio return channel to send audio back across the LAN cable to the primary site where you've plugged in a soundbar to listen to that audio. It's an incredibly sophisticated system, and it really is just that easy to get it set up. I hope this overview of the iARC UHD-EXB350EAU-K HDMI extension kit was helpful. It really does provide an incredibly easy way for you to share all of your HDMI media content with a second remote location up to 100 meters away over a single CAT6A or CAT7 LAN cable. And the fact that it provides local loopback functionality means you can continue to enjoy the content at your primary location while you're simultaneously sharing it with your remote location. The audio extraction capabilities allow you to strip the audio from the media content you're sharing and pass that along to a home stereo or a soundbar for better quality audio. It also allows you to extend a 1 gig LAN connection to your remote location, which means you can connect a computer or a streaming media device up at that remote location and share your network connection. It also provides ARC and eARC extension, which allows you to control the audio from an ARC or eARC compatible product. And finally, the USB extension means that you can actually remotely control the computer at the primary site from the remote site. The included infrared blasters give you complete control over the content you're watching, and the power over cable technology really simplifies the installation of this product. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks for watching.